Friends, well, for now I'm on a low start. Wanted to do one more retreat. Make a kind of check sheet. For those who choose a car in Italy. Well, or somewhere in Europe, I think plus minus. Rules will be same. I'll show you the check sheet. Highlights you need to. Worth it at least. Pay attention when choosing a car. All also on the example of my typewriter. First thing we do is go around the car and inspect the condition of the body for scratches. Then calmly start from the front or from the back and do a full circle. If the car is dirty, wash it. Do it even at your expense. It's in your best interest, cause under the dirt you might not see some defects, scratches such as faded polish, which has already started axing. Second important point, inspect the windshield. I do not know how in other European countries, but in Italy if there are cracks on the windshield, your car next inspection will not pass. You will be forced to change your windshield, and only after that, you will be inspected. Just go around and look around all the edges. Till there are no cracks anywhere. Same exact moment, and with headlights. If the headlights are broken, or cornerbacks, you will not be allowed to pass inspection either. The back ones also be sure to inspect. There should be no crack damage. Third, stop signal must also work for inspection. At least in Italy. Friends, I worked through 5 years as a car mechanic in Italy, and all the experience I have gained, I will share in my videos. I will tell you interesting moments. What you need to pay attention. Second important point, which you can check even without being a mechanic. Get in the car and check the functionality. -1 button. Start the car, pat all the buttons. For example, slide the adjustment of the windows. So, you will understand if some mechanism, automatic glass lift, does not work. You will immediately become clear. Also try adjusting the mirrors. You will see if some mirror is not adjustable. It means it doesn't work. That is, absolutely all buttons, which you can claw. Turn on the air conditioner on a started car and check, does the air conditioner work in winter? It's certainly difficult to do since the compressors don't start at low temperature, usually on cars. But if it's in the summer period, it needs to be done. Make sure to check the air conditioner, and in winter, check the stove. Turn on the stove, preferably after driving a car. Well, or at least up to. If the car is warm, turn on full blowing. And just feel, how does the stove blow, and is there any foreign odors of chemical, so that the stove does not flow inside the cabin. No liquid was leaking, because it's a very expensive repair. During such repair, it is necessary to remove all torpedo to get to the radiator and change it. Guys, the next moment to watch, because in Italy is very expensive. Change rubber and brake pads. This rubber is not necessary to be a mechanic here. Turn the wheel out front and look at the tread condition. Is he still good? And can you still drive, or already need to change the tires? Front also self back without flipped wheel, but you can still see. Squat will see. Tread is goodly on. If you have a flashlight and a little, you figure it out. Mechanics can devote deep into the wheel and see also state. Brake pads. Our friends. Turned on the flashlight and out, you can see well the brake pad, and you can see the thickness of the material. My pads are new, so thickness is good. Enough almost with the pinky. Guys, next moment, which also need to watch. This is when the oil change was done. That is, when the car was serviced. You can see it, or hear in such a service book, which are put, at least until a certain point, until full computerization. So, to speak digitalization, put from print. Need my car. Put out of print until the 44,000 kilometers. Well, and then served. Then just switch completely to computer. Information content that is noted in the computer. In Italy, that's how it works. If you wish, you can make a request. If the owner claims that car was being serviced in an official car dealership or in an authorized service station, you can request to make, and you will be given a service history. If there is no such service history, and there is no such book, second option is to open the hood. And also in Italy, very often here they glue a sticker. I have her glued not here, because it is glued either here in the doorway, either on the door itself. I have her that's where pasted. It is also one of the signs. Sometimes it happens that she is glued one on top of the other, and pulling off one sticker after another. You can read the entire service history. Even without a book, still glue such a sticker under the hood. Let's go under the hood. Open the hood and look around. They can stick it on an air filter. On the motor itself, still here. Here glue on the front crossbar. This type will be a sticker that is marked kilometers oil change, date, and other useful information. And since we're already under the hood. Second very important moment, pay attention. Shine with a flashlight. Be sure to bring a flashlight around the motor. To dark places, dedicate with flashlight and see, so that oil does not flow on the motor. There was no trace of oil leak. This is very important. If you see any strong marks straight very fresh, then this is already a bad signal means. And one more very important point. This is timing. 2 was done to have the timing belt replaced. In this case I have a chain. She changed too, but less often or when it starts to make noise. If it is a timing belt then it is changed according to the regulations. Each model has its own regulations. This needs to be watched by the booklet, according to the internet, or call officials and ask them. They will give you accurate information, usually like they do in Italy. Either glue this label here to and write what has been done. The timing belt was changed on such and such date. Or else write with a felt tip pen on the timing belt cover, plastic side, that the timing belt was replaced, such a number and on such kilometers. Still this label can be glued here, on the hood on the inside. The moment you open the hood, be sure to start the auto. Listen with the hood open how the engine works. Even if you are not a car mechanic. Anyway, if the car works somehow crooked, and even with rhythm failures, or you hear some extraneous noise, some ringing. If you have doubts, go to the nearest service station and ask for the opinion of even an outside mechanic. This will be appropriate. Still check the oil level. If the oil level is very low, then this is not good. Apparently the car consumes oil. There's oil consumption, means there are some problems inside the engine. Friends, if you watch a machine with LPG on gas, ask to show the balun on top of the balun. Here it is where the spare is. Lift and watch. Feel free, it's in your best interest. On top of the balloon you will find the date. And see how fresh it is. Or on the balloon you can find information. Still in the book. In the car passport. It means in Italy a liquefied gas cylinder changes every 10 years. Methane every 4 years. Cylinders and dates. This is also very important because with an expired balun you won't pass either inspection. You will be forced to change the cylinder immediately. That also costs in Italy about 500 euros plus minus. And only after that you can pass the inspection. Self-inspection, friends. You need to look for him in the car passport. Glue such stickers here in squares. Where are the kilometers? At the time of which the inspection was carried out. Date and everything on this, all information ends. Because if there is something wrong on the car it does not pass inspection. If there is no sticker like mine. My passport is new, since the owner has changed. Now with the change of owner they give out new ones. Such passports need to be viewed from the other side. In addition to the penalty for overdue inspection, you can also have your car taken away. You will be given permission to travel to the nearest technical inspection center and urgently conduct inspection. By the way, still a moment, when you inspect car passport, inspect these inspection. When it comes to old cars, be sure to ask about having a certificate. Property, that is, in addition to such a book of such a passport. In Italy, before there was still a certificate of affiliation, it was called certificato di proprietà. This is one more of the same leaf, of the same formatafor approximately, which indicated the name, surname, address of the owner. Then it was removed, and began to write such a footnote in the books. In new technical passports, and that certificate turned digital. That is, it can be downloaded on the internet. See, on the official website of the Ministry of Transport. On the same website of the Ministry of Transport, look availability on all sorts of vans, blocks or rests on a given vehicle. It can be done by yourself, or pre-order a check from them. She will cost a little money. You will be given a report, check which will say that the car has no restrictions. Vincoli gravami is called in Italian. Friends, one more interesting moment important. Always ask for a second car key. Very often sold cars with one key. And actually it's serious. Because when you lose the key to make a new key, totally new, without a single copy, you may have to change several control units in the car, or re-stitch them. And it will also cost you a lot of money in Italy. So ask always having a second key. If he is not, then knock down the price and immediately, if you purchased a car with one single key, apply for a copy immediately. Make a copy as soon as possible. Because in case of loss to make sure you have a spare key. Well, preferably if there is such an opportunity, check both keys. Try to start and open and close the car and start it with 2 keys. That is immediately one, then second, opening and closing the car and start. It's 2 different routines, so you need to check both. It happens you can do so the car will open, but will not start. Different control systems in the car are responsible for this. So you need to check completely and opening and winding. Friends, well, after you watched it all, you can do the most important thing. It's a drive-by car and listen to his state on the move. How is he acting? The machine must be cohesive. She shouldn't knock, rattle, are afraid of some irregularities. Listen to how the chassis behaves. Doesn't she make some knocks incomprehensible? If you have not even the slightest experience in this plan, ask in that case some mechanic. Better even pay money to the mechanic and ask him to listen to the car. Which do you like? Write him and look at his behavior. Friends, well, and this video I will finish. This checklist will be brief for regular user. Later I will write down a more detailed check sheet for you, for lovers, for so to speak, for sophisticated users. With pain and in-depth interesting moments. Gonna try to do this on live examples on cars, which I will find, to make it more and more clear to you. More interesting put. Like if you liked it. Stay with me, bye bye, ciao.